Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Hope you guys are having a good day. As usual, it's windy here at Cedar Creek. It's warm today. I think the high is supposed to be 82. I don't know that it's necessarily 82, but it is warm. We're excited about that. But this weekend we have some temperatures supposed to dip down into about 34 degrees, and so it's going to get just a little bit chilly another day or two before hopefully we break into being able to put all of our stuff out into the garden. And all that's been on hold, but while we've had plants growing, we've had plants under the grow lights, tomatoes and peppers and all kinds of different things, and we've been planting our buckets out with stuff that can take the cold temperatures. At the same time, we've been going and stocking up our pantry, our long-term food storage, and people have asked questions on why we do that. They've asked those questions of us and of other channels too, why we do those things. A lot of people question, with us being a Christian channel, aren't we taking faith out of it by doing something like that? And the answer is no. We feel like Howie and I did a long time ago, felt like the Lord was leading us to prepare this way. One of the reasons that we did that was because of the kind of work that he did. Howie had his own business. He was HVAC installer, repairman, appliance repairman. And there were times during the year that you were in off seasons and there wasn't a lot of work between seasons changing from cold to mild weather. You didn't get as many calls, to really hot, and then you were so busy you couldn't catch up with everything, and the money was really good. And then then you'd go back into a season where you were in between temperatures and the calls were lower again. And so we learned a long time ago to prepare for those times, to put stock back so that when we weren't able to go to the grocery store, we had those supplies on hand. And throughout the years, they've come in handy. We went through a time when Howie had open heart surgery. We didn't have to worry about groceries and supplies for ourselves and for our animals, for the farm. We had all of those different areas with stock. When we're talking about stocking our pantry, for us here on our homestead, we don't just mean the groceries. We mean the health care, the health essentials. We mean supplies that we need for the farm, for the animals, medications and all kinds of things that we need on the farm. T-posts, fencing, and rolls of barbed wire, and other welded wire, and just hydraulic fuel and engine starting stuff. I don't know what that's called. All kinds of different things. We try to be prepared so that when slower times are there, we didn't have to worry about running out our available cash by running to have to buy things that we were in need of. And so we still continue to do that today. Now I always say things got a whole lot easier for Howie and I to be able to prepare things and have a little bit more money available to us to be able to stock things that we desired to have on the shelves and thought was a good idea. And younger people like Blade and Cheyenne with young families, they're just getting started, and sometimes it's really easy to get frustrated because it doesn't seem like a paycheck stretches as far when you're buying diapers, whether you're buying disposable diapers or cloth diapers and formulas and all kinds of things like that. There's a frustration level for young people, but I try to remind them to hold on, that things get a little bit easier. But I will tell you that we were prepared. We weren't, of course, prepared to lose Howie. We didn't expect to lose him, but I found us being able to stretch the supplies that we had, that Howie and I had built up after he passed away. But because we lived that kind of lifestyle, it made it a little bit easier. Now, there have been times that it's been hard since he's been gone, times that I have really had to buckle down and do some moving around of money and finances just to make sure that There's been times that I absolutely didn't have the foggiest idea how in the world things were going to stretch any further than what they actually could stretch, and the Lord has been faithful in all of it. Two, I say, the kids are here with me, and Blade is following in his dad's footsteps. He works in the HVAC industry, and they're here, they're working the farm right along with me, and it's a blessing to have them and the grandkids here. But we're working together, Cheyenne and I, to maximize our food stores and all of our other supplies the best we can. And yesterday was one of those days that we just set out. We had a budget in mind. We knew some of the things that we needed to for sure purchase, and then we just kind of kept our eyes peeled for bargains and for clearance items. And that's what you need to do too, is just prepare yourself when you go. Have an idea of the things that you definitely need, things that you want to check prices, and if it's a good price, you might be able to bring that home and put it on your shelf. And then you'll find that sometimes there's some surprise items that, you know, it was just something that I always count that as an extra blessing, an extra little hug from the Lord when something happens to be on the clearance shelf that I hadn't even thought of before. So we're going to show you some of the things that we got today. And I want to apologize. I have terrible allergies in the spring and in the fall. I'm going through that now. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm really stuffy. I'm taking medication for it, but it makes me really sleepy. And I've been coughing a whole lot, so Cheyenne may have to pick up. She's not said a word yet, but it's not for lack of me trying to get her to say something. But she's doing good. So I'm probably going to turn some of this over to her and let her do some of the talking, because I'm having a real struggle here. Now, I will tell you that we went to 3 different shops yesterday. I'll tell you what they were. We went to Walmart, Aldi's, and Dollar Tree just to see. There's some items that we wanted to check on at Dollar Tree, and we were able to pick those up. And in the other 2 stores as well. And we're just going to go through them here. And now we don't have them sorted by store. We have them sorted by like items. And we will just kind of give you an idea of what we were able to get. Now, this first one, though, is an item that's not like the others. I don't know if y'all ever watched Sesame Street when you were a kid, but it said one of these things are not like the other. The bread is just kind of its own category, but Cheyenne can tell you about it.
We got this to put in the freezer. We found these on the bakery, the clearance bakery rack at Walmart. Our clearance bakery rack is in between the dairy and kind of where the bacon and stuff is, in a little corner shelf. And we found 4 or 5 of these for 57 cents a piece. So we went ahead and got these to put in the freezers for garlic bread, whatever we decide to make with it.
Yeah, I don't believe I could make that for that amount of money. And not feeling well right now. Hey, that sounded good to me. You always need to be prepared, and this will get us through until I feel like baking bread again.
Our seasoning shelf is something that we want to have stocked so we can use our seasonings, make our own seasonings with different blends of different things. So garlic salt is something that we use a lot of, so I went ahead and picked up 2 at Walmart they were like 98 cents a piece, so I got 2 of them. We have a few on the shelf now that we got from the last time we went to the store. Hot and spicy foods is something that Blade likes. He likes spicy on just about everything that he eats. Little Howie cannot have as much spicy food as what his daddy can have. He does like some. So hot sauce is something that I keep on the shelf for Blade, and I found these at the dollar store for $1.25 a piece, so I picked up 2 of them.
Now, I will say, too, that having something like this, if you were to have a situation like we did when I was growing up, you never were 100% sure what you were eating. There were times that my parents snuck in rabbit or squirrel or whatever, and having hot sauces or ketchup, my goodness, we went through gallons and gallons and gallons of ketchup, trying to mask the flavor just a little bit so that we could eat it. It's always a good idea to keep some things on the shelf to mask if you need to.
Mom is a coffee drinker. I have slowly become a coffee drinker myself, so we are going through double the coffee we were there for the last 2.5 years. So we went to while we were at the Dollar Tree, we found this freeze-dried coffee for $1.25 a piece. So we picked up a few of those.
Now I've heard people talk about these and show these in their Dollar Tree hauls, and I thought, I'll just try it. I know nothing about this brand of coffee. I actually thought it might be something good to have on the shelf if you ever were making a care package for someone, or you were making a bag of groceries to take to somebody at church, just to slip it in their car or work or whatever, just to slip in a little gift, so that sometimes people just need a leg up. They don't necessarily need for you to make a big show in front of everybody else by handing them a big bag of groceries, but you could slip something in their car. And I thought maybe this coffee would be good. Is it the best coffee? I don't know. I've never tried it. Maybe some of you all have, and you can tell me about it. But we thought we'd give it a shot. I cannot even pronounce it, but most of you have seen this bright yellow package. I think that I've seen Patera maybe pick this up as well, and that's what reminded me that I wanted to pick some of this up. So we're going to give this a try. I'm actually open one of these and just give the coffee a try and see if I like it myself. It'd be awful if it was terrible coffee and I was passing it on to somebody else. But anyway, we picked a couple of these up along with some of this. Cheyenne was kind of excited about that.
Shelf stable milk. We cook with a lot of it. Howie drinks a lot of milk. I've got another one coming that drinks a lot of milk, and so this will kind of help on the cooking side. We can use this instead of using the gallon milk that is about almost $4 a gallon right now. And we got this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. We picked up 4 or 5 of them.
But that's just 2%.
Yes, this is 2%. Howie drinks whole milk. We would have got the whole milk, but they have 1%, 2% in whole milk. And the whole milk and the 1% they were out of. This was the only kind they had, so we just picked up what they had.
We did pick up supplies, normal groceries, and we didn't want to bore you with all of those. Just our normal everyday things that we've shared with you before. Nothing that the prices were just extraordinary.
No.
So we just wanted to show you the things that we stocked besides that, and the good bargains that we had. And so I love to have washcloths. I like the white ones because I can put them in and I can bleach them. Not that I'm opposed to other colors. I love color too. But the white ones, it just seems like, you can throw them in and bleach them, and it seems like if you need one for an emergency situation, somebody's hurt, it just seems cleaner to me for some reason to grab a white washcloth. May never be white again, but you can start out white. We don't buy paper towels. We use tea towels. These are washcloths. But we, about every year, every 6 months, we order in tea towels. And if they get bad, they get stained. They're cheap enough that I can just throw them away, or if they're too far gone, I'll throw them away. If they're not, they might be stained. I wouldn't put them on the table to serve guests, but I sure would put them in a rag bag to wipe up messes and to do that kind of stuff. I just think that it makes more sense to use tea towels than it does to buy rolls and rolls and rolls of paper towels. Now, there are times when we're dealing with greasy foods, fried foods, that I use my used coffee filters. I save my coffee filters and I rinse the coffee off of them and let them dry. I use them to soak up grease, and I use them in the bottom of my flower pots to keep the soil from falling through the little holes in there, but the water can still pass through. So that was one of the things that we got, along with freezer bags. Now we bought quart and gallon size freezer bags. We like to keep those on hand. We just if they have meat in them, I don't reuse them once they're out of the freezer or the refrigerator. If it's had meat, I don't recycle them. I just throw them away. I think it's safer. I think it's more hygienic and safer for us just to throw those bags away. But if they've had something in them like lettuce or, I don't know, some vegetables cut up or anything like that, I will wash them. We'll move on to our next bag. It is really windy here, guys. I apologize if the audio is bad. Hopefully it's not. If it is, we'll have to do a voiceover. We learned how to do that.
So Mom took a look at our first aid cabinet not too long ago and told me that we were low on Band-Aids. And so yesterday while we were at the store, our first aid shelf was something that we took a look at. At the Dollar Tree, we got some peroxide and alcohol. I use alcohol on any kind of mosquito bite, any open wound. Mom thinks I'm crazy because I put it on mosquito bites, but it works. Not too long ago, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I had to put gloves on, and I used every single one of Mom's gloves. So we had to get some more to put back on the shelf because we're running low.
Just a second. Do you remember how much your
Those?
Yeah.
$1.25 piece.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the gloves these gloves came from Walmart, and they have a bunch of different types that you can get. They have the ones that are latex free. They have different sizes. They have the ones that they have the ones that's got that little powdery stuff in them. These are powder free, and so she doesn't know this, but that's not the only gloves that we've got. We've got some others in storage in another place. But I'm glad that she felt responsible that she needed to replace the box of gloves.
We went ahead and picked up this big box of Band-Aids, and while we were sitting there looking at the Band-Aids, we thought little Howie needed some decorated Band-Aids. So we got him some decorated Band-Aids, and we saw these, thought they was real pretty with all the little prints on them, so we went ahead and got those too, just for the sake of Band-Aids.
Now this box of family pack of Band-Aids, there's 110 assorted Band-Aids in it. And it was about a little over $11. And they have changed some of the brands that they're carrying at Walmart. I was able to find Curad before, and this is the Band-Aid brand with Howie toward the corner off of them. But I'm kind of picky on Band-Aids. I like to know that they're going to stay on when I put them on, and so I usually will get ones that are tried and true. I have tried some from the Dollar Tree, their brand, and I haven't been very successful with them. They come off pretty easy, but Dollar Tree does carry Curad, and if you can find the fabric ones, those stick. When you put them on, they're not going to come off until you take them off. So if you can find those there, those are good Band-Aids.
Poison ivy is something that Blade is highly allergic to. Whenever he went to New Jersey for work, was that last summer? Summer before last. Before I got up there, he had got into it at the first couple days of work, and he was covered in it from head to toe and had it for about 2 weeks. And calamine lotion, for some reason, was the only thing that he grabbed at Walmart when he went to get something to help him. But while we were there, we were looking at the poison ivy medicine, and so this is an itch relief gel. It's just off-brand. I thought that I would give that a try.
Is that the store brand?
Yeah, this is the store brand.
That's the Walmart store brand.
Yeah. And then I got the Ivorest. It is, it's supposed to be a double relief formula. It's supposed to help stop reaction and soothe an itch. It's supposed to be faster. So these were a few things that we thought we would give a try to see if they help him this summer. We have poison ivy growing everywhere. We try to pull it when we see it, but if he gets into it, he gets it real bad.
Mm-hmm. Now we are still trying to locate jewelweed. I know it grows out in the wooded areas. I haven't found any here yet, but I'm pretty sure that I can order some jewelweed. I haven't found it yet, but I don't know if I can order seed and try to grow it if the conditions are right here for me to be able to grow it and make my own salve. If so, I'm very interested in doing that. If not, I'm on the hunt for some jewelweed that maybe somebody else has made into into a salve. So if you know any kind of supplier where I could find some seeds for jewelweed, or you have any information that would help us combat the poison ivy for blade, feel free to share it down in the comments section, and we will sure give it a try, because he suffers so with poison ivy, mainly poison ivy. He doesn't really come into contact with poison oak or sumac much. It's really the poison ivy that he struggles with, because it's the most common that he runs into. I always try to make sure that I have plenty of things on the shelf for upset tummies, whether it's Pepto-Bismol, Kaopectate, whatever it is, liquid pills, Gas Aid. I don't have to go, or Gas X. I don't need to go into any detail with that. Rolaids, anything for the tummy, upset tummies. Now for me, I'm a diabetic, and so I don't, if you have uncontrolled diarrhea and vomiting, that is something that can become dangerous to you. And so I try to make sure that I always have something that'll take care of those kind of sicknesses, so that I don't end up having to go to the hospital for severe dehydration. Same with the kids. This is not for children though, but we always try to keep something. We have Nausine, and we have different things that we take. Cheyenne can't stand this, and so we have to find something else for her to take. But always think about the different scenarios that you might have in your daily life, and try to keep those things stocked. Now this is something that we found at Walmart yesterday, is a 3-pack of wasp and hornet spray. This was a little over $7 for 3 cans. They did have some of the more common name brands of wasp spray, but they were almost $4 for 1 can. And so this is something that we have to keep here. I don't know why. The red wasps are pretty prevalent here, and Cheyenne is terrified of them. They're not necessarily my best friend, but I won't run over anybody to get away from them, and she will. So this is something that we keep stocked. We have quite a few cans of this already purchased, and we keep it in our farm stock, because those little boogers build nests in our barns and sheds and everywhere. And so we've got cans up by the garden. We have cans at the barn and cans at the shop, and just so that we've got access to them. Howie got stung and had a terrible allergic reaction and had to go to the hospital, and he developed an allergy, and had to have an EpiPen with him at all times. I will tell you what the doctor told us was to make sure that you've got Benadryl there with you. When you first get stung, if you have a reaction like that, take a Benadryl, but don't just take a Benadryl and go home and chill out. Take your Benadryl and go to the hospital. The Benadryl just hopefully helps you until you can get to the hospital. We have probably a 20-25 minute drive maybe, to get to the hospital from here. And when I tell you, his face was, his side of his head was extremely swollen, and his tongue and lips were swollen. So it was an emergency situation, so we try to keep this on hand and get rid of those little red waspers when we see them, because they'll sting you for nothing.
Wipes is something that we go through a lot of, so I try to keep them on hand at all times. I have a pretty big wipe stock right now, but I will continue to stock them because I still use them for both the boys. As I have more kids, I will still need them. So every chance that I get these at Aldi's. It's a 3-pack, 216 count. I think I paid a little over $4 for these. These are, I think, just as good as any other brand of wipe that I've had. I've used the big high name brand wipes, and I don't think they work any better than any of these other wipes that I've used. So I just continue to buy these and stock these up as I just just as I go. I get about one package every time I go to the store.
Besides all these, the Walmart, the Equate brand, they have a really good deal going with their wipes as well, and they're good wipes. You can get them by the case. Whether you go to the store and pick them out or have them mailed to your house, delivered to your front door, they're a really good price, and you can get about, I think the one case that I have has about 1,200 wipes in it, and they have different fragrances that, you know, you can get fragrance free. You can get cucumber and green tea, I think it is. Different scents, if that's, you know, something that you like or you don't like. So you just, you know, shop around and find the best thing that works for you.
While we were at the Dollar Tree, we were going down the aisles of like the gardening section and stuff, and I found these plant clips and asked Mom if this was something that we could use, and she said we probably could. So I picked up 2 packages of these. There's 20 in here. There's 2 different sizes. There's little ones and there's big ones, and yeah, they're 2 different sizes.
We'll open them so you can maybe see them a little bit better.
There's 2 different sizes. Hopefully you can see this. And we thought maybe we could use these just around here and in the garden to clip peppers and tomatoes and maybe some flowers back when we need to.
Onto the fence or to the
onto a fence trellis. Or a trellis, or we have those hanging pots, and last year I had a begonia that we had to tie the stems up because they got leggy, and we just had to fix it. Oh, it smells so good. Fell's Napa is something that we keep on hand. Mom says this works real good on grass stains out of football pants, baseball pants, softball pants, whatever it so happens to be. But maybe your kids play a little highway when he comes out here and he's got stains on whatever it is from rolling in the ground. She said this is real good to use. We use this whenever we come inside and we think that we've been into something that might possibly make us itch. We wash about all the way up to our elbows with it. I got this at Walmart for $1.20 a bar. They had a real good stock of it, so I went ahead and got quite a few of them. I'm super excited for our clothesline that we're going to have hung before too long. So while we were at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, there's 32 in here, and so I went ahead and picked up some more of these just to add to our pile that we already got.
They were still $5 a package, and so we picked up another package. The kids like to take these when they go. The kids like to take these when they go deer hunting or duck hunting in the fall. It's too cold for me, but they love to get out there in that cold, and so they take these with them, tuck them in. These are hot hands. They add for the feet though, and for your body, which is basically looks like a back patch to me. And so you might check that out if this was something that you would be interested in to put on your shelf. They had some heaters that was from this brand and other things like that. Now is the time to really look at your clearance aisles for the winter stuff that's being put on clearance, making room for the spring and summer. Actually, they're moving through spring into summer, so you can pick up some of those things that they're beginning to put on clearance. Little coats and jackets. Try to think ahead what size your kids might possibly be next season so that you can get those things and put them back. They usually put shoes and boots that are winter related, socks and little hats and mittens, not just for littles but for us as well. Just try to think ahead when you're out and about looking at the clearance items. All the Easter stuff was on 75% off yesterday. We didn't need any of the Easter items, and so we just bypassed that. But it'd be a good opportunity if you were looking for baskets. You could have actually gotten a basket, I suppose, and spray painted it or whatever you wanted to do to change up the looks of it. We weren't in the market for any of that, but they had rows and rows of stuff like that on clearance. But we only got 2 items. We got the hot hands, and then we got the headlamp, and it's one of the ones that has the stretchy back that wraps around your head. It comes with batteries, and it was $10. It's normally $10.67, and we got it for $3.73. What I like to do with these is if your power happens to go out, and my step,
There you go.
anyway, my mom is the first one that I saw do this when her power went out. She got this headlamp out and she wore it around, and she didn't have to carry a candle or a flashlight or any other kind of thing. She just had this on her head, and she kept it on as she moved throughout the house. And I thought that was a wonderful, brilliant idea. Sometimes we're just amazed at the things that everyday people come up with, and for $3.73, I think that's a great deal. I already have some of these, but that's a good thing. Even if you didn't want to use this for yourself, well, for $3.73, you could put this back, and this could become a white elephant gift at a church party, or it could become a birthday present, or it could become anything that you wanted to gift somebody else with, or if somebody had a need for it. So there it is, guys. The things that we thought we would put on our prepping shelves this week. We just kind of wanted to share with you some ideas that maybe you haven't thought of. Perhaps you've thought of things that we haven't thought of yet. And, you know, as a community, we can work and help each other, encourage one another to keep preparing, to keep putting back for times that that it's a little bit leaner at your place than what you'd like it to be, and you got your shelf stocked, and you don't have to worry about spending all your what few dollars that you might possibly have that week on necessities that, boy, if you'd had them stocked, you wouldn't have to worry about it. So until next time, guys, this is Josie and Cheyenne. I love you, I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. Till next time, we're gone.